Hey guys, what is up? It is the Fast Break Report here, bringing you guys another vlog. Was gonna record this video later, but I gotta play golf at 12:45 today, and I'm probably not gonna be back till figure like 3:30, 4 o'clock, and by then I'm probably not even gonna want to make a video on this, so I'm trying to do it now. We're gonna talk about Game 6 and some things for Game 7, but what a game. Game 6 was really good. Everything the Pacers needed to do, they did in this game. They won the rebound battle. They fucking dominated in points in the paint, and they shut down Jalen Brunson. I understand, 31 points doesn't sound like shutting down Jalen Brunson, but when you consider the fact the dude's been averaging about almost 40 points a game for the entire playoffs, to me, that's locking down Jalen Brunson, especially in the first half when Jalen Brunson shot 2 of 13. I said it in my last video that if the Pacers can shut down Jalen Brunson, they can win this series, and they proved that yesterday. They proved that, back against the wall, we go home if we lose. They handled business. Like, I gotta call it what it is, man. They handled business. And, it sucks because, the Pacers are in a situation where it's like they're damned if they do and damned if they don't. And if they beat the Knicks, all we're gonna fucking hear is, oh, injuries, injuries, injuries. And if we lose to them, all we're gonna hear is injuries, injuries, injuries. It's a fucking lose-lose, no matter what the outcome is of this Game 7 for the Pacers. And because Knicks fans are gonna be like, well, yeah, you couldn't. If they win, you couldn't even beat us with half our fucking roster injured. If we win, well, if we win, then it's gonna be, well, half our fucking roster was injured. So get ready for that. If you're a Pacers fan, just get ready to hear that for the next fucking year and a half, okay? But it's just the idea. The Knicks have played a very competitive series. Every game has been won at home. For whatever home team is playing, that's the team that won. So the Pacers going into Madison Square Garden to try to get a win is going to be hard, especially when you consider that Tyrese Haliburton, for whatever reason in Madison Square Garden, just doesn't rise to the occasion. He cannot have another game where he takes 9 shots. He just can't. In this game against the Knicks at Madison Square Garden, especially with all the stars out, Stephon Marbury is going to be there. John Starks is going to be there. Stephen A. Smith is going to be there. Bernard King, Larry Johnson, Patrick Ewing. You're gonna have to go in there and do some serious fucking work. That's all I'm saying. The Knicks are not going to make it easy on them. They play better at home. But the way the Pacers played yesterday, they played their style of basketball, and I had a feeling they were going to win that game. Like I was pretty confident they were going to win that game, especially after all the shit talk that's been going on. It's just nice to see the rivalry back again, and the reason I say that is because the Knicks Pacers rivalry, I just think, is good for basketball. It gives fans something else to talk about. It gives casual NBA fans another reason to tune in, that like an old school rivalry is back. Some of the old heads are like some guys I work with who haven't watched basketball in fucking years, are tuning in to watch the Knicks play again, since watching them play in the fucking early 90s, they're finally relevant again. And the idea that the Pacers are good too, it makes for good conversation. It's great for the NBA. It's great for basketball. So I do like the rivalry. As much as I find the Knicks team and their fans to be kind of fucking annoying, it's at this point, like, I just think it's good for the sport. And I think basketball is better when both of those teams are good. And if Chicago can get better too, like, I just think like all the OG teams, what I'm saying, like from the early 90s, if they could be good again, I think it would be great for the league. But Game 6, I want to talk about the Josh Hart injury because I feel like that's going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back in Game 7. The Knicks have done a good job of getting away with having guys injured and still winning games. But if the Pacers come out and shut down Brunson, and I think Josh Hart is going to play, but I have a feeling he's going to be like a shell of himself. Dante DiVincenzo is going to have to step up big. Miles McBride's going to have to step up big. I just feel like Josh Hart's rebounding specifically is going to affect Game 7. He's a guy that gets you almost a triple-double every time he walks out on the floor. He's the New York Knicks Swiss Army knife guy, and if he's not out there rebounding, I feel like they're not going to win the rebound battle. Hartenstein's very good, but if you don't have anybody to box out Miles Turner or Pascal Siakam, especially when they're practicing rebounding in practice right now, it's going to be an uphill battle. And, Andrew Nemhard had a very good game. Siakam had a very good game. Miles had a very good game. Halliburton did his thing. He only took 12 shots, but it was enough to score 15 points and get the job done. The Pacers just have to be aggressive. They can't back down from the Knicks. Like, that's something that I feel happened in Game 5. I feel like the Pacers kind of just folded a game to them. It just like in Game 4, it felt like the Knicks kind of just folded a game to the Pacers. I don't expect that to happen again. I do not expect neither of these teams to play as bad as they did in Games 4 and 5. Game 7, the Pacers just have to do what they did in this game. Control points in the paint. They fucking dominated in points in the paint. They need to just lock down Jalen Brunson as best you can and, make sure you rebound. And play fucking defense. At least Tyrese Halliburton looked engaged on defense a little bit. I didn't see the whole first half because I was with my dad. I was playing cards with him and shit, and then I finally realized what time it was. But this game was really, really good. And honestly, as a Pacers fan, I have to say this: it's nice to see Miles Turner finally growing a set. You know what I'm saying? He's not, for years I just wanted the dude to dunk the basketball because it seemed like he never did that. Now, he's doing fucking tomahawks. He's throwing shit down. He's throwing down vicious slams, dog. And, it's nice to see Miles is getting better. And I can't believe I'm saying that because I thought for sure Miles was going to be some mediocre center for the rest of his fucking life. And while he's still not perfect, it's nice to see him being aggressive in the paint because for a very long time he wasn't. For a very long time, Miles would just go down in the paint and take what's given to him. Now it's like he's taking it to the defense. He's banging on dudes down in the paint, and I like that. You know what I'm saying? I like to see him dunking. I like it that he's getting downhill and fucking just yamming the shit like Obi Toppin level. It's nice to see. And our bench is performing. I'm going to be honest, in Game 7, if the Pacers can lock down Brunson, the bench, and everybody just plays well, just plays the game they played in Game 6 where, they were able to control the tempo a little bit. They were able to knock Jalen Brunson off for the first half, and then in the third quarter he started coming alive. But if they can shut down Jalen Brunson or at least limit him, I like the Pacers' chances. I said it in my previous video, man. If the Pacers can shut down Jalen Brunson, they can win. And I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of double teams, a lot of switching, and Tyrese Halliburton looked a lot better on switch defense in this game. It wasn't perfect, it wasn't great by any means, but it was better, and that's what I was looking for. I was like, dude, I said it in the last video too. I'm like, if we're going to win this series, Tyrese Halliburton has to take defense seriously, and he's finally, at least in Game 6, he finally did it. Because there was a lot of games in this series where I'd see Tyrese Halliburton have an opportunity to play defense, and instead of playing defense, he just lets his opponent just drive by him and score. And in the playoffs, you can't do that. I understand we're one of the highest scoring offenses in the NBA, but you can't take time off on defense in the playoffs. You just can't. So hopefully Game 7, the Pacers win. Because there's a lot of bets at work too going on this game. I'm gonna collect a whole lot of fucking bread at work if the Pacers win this series. But I think it's gonna be good. I'm excited for it. I'm also excited to watch the Timberwolves Nuggets game because I think Anthony Edwards has arrived. I think Anthony Edwards is. I think the rumors are true that he's Michael Jordan's son because he's been doing some Michael Jordan level shit. But yeah, playoffs have been great this year. The sad part about this whole series is no matter who moves on to Boston, I think they're going to lose. Drew Holiday and Derek White play defense very fucking good, and they still have Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and Al Horford. Granted, Kristaps Porzingis is going to be out for the start of the Eastern Conference Finals. But I just feel like no matter what team goes against Boston, Boston's going to win. And honestly, if I'm Boston, I'm hoping I get the Knicks. And the reason for that is because the Knicks are beat up. The Pacers aren't. The only guy we're missing, I believe, is Ben Mathurin. And that's because he's got a torn rotator cuff, which would have been nice to have Ben Mathurin in these playoffs, if I'm being honest with you. But it is what it is. You can only play the team that is put in front of you. So I don't know, man. We'll have to wait and see what Game 7 brings, but tell me what you guys think about this down below in the comment section below. A like helps me out. Subscribe if you guys want to see more on the Fast Break Report, and I'm out of this motherfucker. Peace, guys.